When there's some players on Sunday, welcome back to the video on the channel. Not much news today. Frustrating in terms of incomings. Just a little bit later on in terms of outgoings, but I want this one just to vent a bit more. It feels a bit therapeutic after a result like that on Saturday to come on and talk. I found it helped on Saturday to come on and talk. So I'm going to do it then. The anger I was feeling after Saturday has gone naturally after time, but my concern for the season ahead is still very much there. And one piece, one bit of frustration that has been actually increased since I recorded my video on Saturday, is the midfield and how we have somehow found ourselves in the position where in our first game of the season, after our biggest problem of the whole last year, we still had the same dross in midfield. That's the biggest frustration I think I have after the results on Saturday. I'm going to touch on that a bit more in a few minutes. Kevin Brady went on to talk about on Sunderland. It was pre-planned. It wasn't anything just after the results. I don't have a quote, so I'm going to paraphrase a little bit, so excuse me for that. She always does tend to talk every game, Karen Brady's. Reporters, pundits interview her. She said very eloquent in how she talks. But I think rightly so, she does frustrate West Ham fans quite a lot. When asked about our need for speed in midfield, because this isn't just a problem that just West Ham fans are seeing. And I saw some Sunderland fans on Twitter who wouldn't have watched as much last season, but them being in the Championship. And after one down of football, they could see straight away West Ham's problem is in that midfield. So it doesn't take a genius to work out where our problem is. And when she was asked the question by, I think it was Henry Winter from the Times, asked her the question, do West Ham need more midfielders? She sort of laughed and said, I think this is it. Yes, I think anyone who watches this can see that is a problem area, so that's good right there. She's not been afraid to state the obvious. But then, and I can't remember whether it was in this question or it was a different follow-up question, but she went on to say you can't sign players that Graham Potter and Charlie McCauley don't want. Talk about stating the obvious again. Like to do anything else. I know Callum Wilson is definitely not their siding, but it's laying the blame right on Graham Potter's doorstep, isn't it? Basically saying, we've offered him options. He said no, he doesn't want them, but whenever he has suggested options to them, like Harvey Elliott, like Douglas DeVries, like, who else is more? Jake Ramsey, Fernandez, although that one I don't mind as much, so we did go in for him. But whenever he does it, someone who he does want, they're being too expensive by the boy. And I know I'm not really using the Fernandez example because I did on record say on the channel that the prices they want for him is too expensive. And I stand by that. So I don't mind as much on that one, but James Matthews, someone who would have been into it, but not too rigorously, but someone who I would have loved at West Ham. He's gone to Forest for £30 million. Should have been all over that. Really should have. Jacob Ramsey has gone to Newcastle for just over £40 million. Not far off what we bid for Fernandez, so we have that money to spend in that position. Bilal Toulouse was such he could be down to Paris to replace Eze. So all these players that he has suggested to him who he wants, they're being snapped up because we're not putting the money in, or they're not willing to put the money in, and we're taking far too long to just bid for players, putting a bid. We're getting bid for so many players, even Amari Hutchinson has also gone to Forest after Nuno said before the season opener against Brentford that they are not in a good spot. He said that, and Man United, the Forest owner, acted on it and brought in 3 or 4 players over a space of 2 days. And Hutchinson, Matthew, and Tally Miranda from Rennes. We're just falling behind so much. We're getting slower, older, weaker in every area of the pitch, and things around us are strengthening. They're listening to the managers, they're putting money in, and they're overtaking us. Even the promoted teams are starting to overtake us. Maybe Burnley, Sunderland, they're much better than us. We'll see Leeds tonight. Yeah, it's pretty. Do not make a couple of signings in that midfield in the next couple of weeks. I genuinely do think we will get relegated. Before last couple of seasons, it's been a bit of a knee-jerk thing, we could get relegated, but be in relegation battle. I really think if we don't sharpen up, wise up, and get some players in quick, and get part of the players he wants and he needs for what price they are. I'd pay, after watching that on Saturday, I'd pay 50 million right now for Fernandez. Just even for the morale boost, if nothing else, and showing a statement of intent that we can pay £50 million per player. Earlier in the summer when we got into Harvey Elliott, and Liverpool wanted 40 million, my instinct was, oh, we're not going to pay that. That shouldn't be how it is. We cannot stand still. Teams, Bournemouth has spent 25 million on Ben Doug today. Forest is spending money on Hutchinson, Kelly Morendo, and Matthew. I appreciate that they have Europe, but other teams around us, like Britain, Everton, I'll tell you similar, on a similar level and playing toward us. They're spending 25-30 million on Dewsbury Hall. Yes, we brought in Diouf and Manson, but the reason we got Manson is because Leicester massively lowered their asking price. So yes, you can argue that is a good negotiating from our part, but if Leicester had stood for him, he wouldn't have paid it, he would have gone for John Victor. So yes, you can say that we did a good job getting that deal down to a really good fee for him, but we wouldn't have put the money, we wouldn't have paid what Leicester would have wanted if they hadn't budged. So that just shows that they get the players that are free and available, but they're not willing to spend that premium for players the Potter actually wants. That's really, really concerning. So as you can go on Talk Sport and talk to the game, which she always does, she's support and wonder where her mouth is, and so does David Sullivan. I'm not going to the radio putting a blame on Potter, saying he's one of the players to wear offering him when everyone and their wives can see that he's put to you pay that he wants, and you've not put him, you've not paid up, because they've been too expensive service for him, really is. And if we were in a comfortable mid-table position, yeah, don't, fine. And maybe, maybe they think maybe they believe we'll be 13 or 14 again with the squad as it is now. I don't believe it will. And even if I did, I still wouldn't be happy, because we can't be aspiring for 14th every season. But I don't think we are in that luxury position. I really don't. The promoted teams, I know everyone is sitting 2 in the top far. We'll see Leeds tonight, but they're putting their money where their mouth is, especially Sunderland. But they're doing, since they beat us, they signed Nuclear from PSG, right back. The centre back Lucchini, really high rated at London, I think. And they put in a £32 million bid for Abdul Fattah. After already spending over £200 million and winning 3-0. They're not sitting there with this, they're sitting back saying, oh, this Premier League left, will be alright. They're acting on it. They're being proactive rather than reactive. There's no point us waiting for January, sitting in the bottom 3 saying, oh shit, better start parting now, better bring in Roy Hodgson, do this up. But Dead Moyes, if he's not in that, Everton, to keep us up. We're not in that luxury position at all. We're in a critical position. And if we don't do something in these next couple of weeks, I find it very difficult to see how we're going to pick up enough points to stay up, honestly. Right. In terms of how good the window has been so far, I find not just me but all West Ham fans can be a bit can use hyperbole a bit much when we either sign a player or when we don't sign a player. When we signed for Manchester and Diouf, I admit I was getting a bit hopeful about the season, but it only takes one little hit of that and I did down completely. All that hope is gone. But I'm trying to how good the window's been. As I said, when we signed Diouf and to Manson, and I was feeling good. Not so much with Roger Peters, definitely not with Halliburton. There's a funny picture actually. When the social media team put up the graphic of the substitutions, there's one at the weekend off Rigo Rodriguez on Halliburton. How on earth have we got ourselves in this position where the main aim part of the move was to reduce the age profile, bring in young, fast, hungry players. First time season, start Rigo Rodriguez. I'm not against him, he played quite well. To be fair to him, he's not working. Bring on someone way faster, and more dynamic. Halliburton. So how have we got ourselves in that position where first game of the season we still have the same old rubbish dross midfield? I did think a very positive start. He went with Rodriguez, played alright as I said. June was a quiet month. It was all about the sell-to-buy policy. One willing to dip into the overdraft and losing out on targets because of that. We then had to sell Toulouse at a discounted price so we could buy a player. We did that by buying Diouf after selling to lose at a discounted price, and the Spurs as well, not just at a discounted price. To our biggest rivals, Spurs as well. He's the buy at the weekend, 2 assists. Spurs fans in the really broken, not surprised. I thought he'd do well there. I'm not surprised to see him do well. They went a bit quiet for a few weeks. They were happy after signing that first player. The day was a little toy. They played about for a few weeks. But yeah, you'd be happy with that now. In that time, they had a few positive results in pre-season. So they're feeling a bit better about things. Then we don't have Manchester okay. Really good. But in the midst of all this, the priority position completely went out of their heads. I remember Richard Rios was available earlier in the window from Palmeiras. I loved him. But we'd never go for a player like that. We wouldn't. Actually, by the way, we did actually try to sell Ramsey, but he wanted to stay at Villa. Then Newcastle came in. It was like, yeah, alright, I'll go. But the reason we probably went in for him is because he's a flipping worst lighthouse time, isn't it? So does that stand there? Not, but if we signed him, I wouldn't have got frustrated at his agent. Ramasaka was a real sort of time. He's turned out pretty good. So I'll take his good ones. I won't take his talent and stuff. Where was I? Yeah, the midfield. I think in a way I got blinded by it a little bit. I was thinking, as long as we can get try to spread result out, they might remember I was saying on Friday and preview that before the end, I was thinking, on Friday video and my review on Saturday, I was just saying, all I was thinking ahead of this game is, how did we just get a win? Because once we got those midfielders in, we are going to be a better team, full stop. But until then, just get results. Grinding out. I think I massively underestimated how much we actually did need those midfielders from last season. And as West Ham fans, I've been very guilty of being blinded by a couple of signings, a couple of pre-season wins, and forgetting the real problem. As a midfield on Saturday, I was a stark reminder of that. But that shouldn't have come as a surprise to the owner or the Sunderland and Brady. They've known about this. Potter's been begging out for Harvey Elliott, begging out for Douglas Luiz. Even when they did that, begging out for him. He's not brought anyone yet. I'm worried. I'm very, very worried. Chelsea on Friday night. They did a shoulder yesterday. Against the low block in Palace. I presume that's what we'll play like. But I'm worried. I'm very, very worried. It's a rough couple of days from up Chelsea and Forest away. They had a great result yesterday. It's not looking good. It's really not. And if they don't get a couple of signings in the next couple of weeks, I'm genuinely worried for the rest of the season. And how bad it could get. Hopefully, we can get a result on Friday. The mood will be better. And we can look forward to walking us up. Very difficult to see how we can win games and compete in games right that field there, unfortunately. But as I said, it really only takes one good performance for my hope levels to jump up again. But that is just life of being a West Ham fan. And to watch it, see you soon, lads. Bye. Come in the Lions.